I'm Brittany, and today I'll be talking to you about reducing and reusing plastic products. In an article called Is Recycling Worth It? By Joanna Pankavage, she states, in the United States, the average person disposes of almost 30 pounds of plastic bottles per year. By weight, plastics made up 13% of our total 251 tons of trash in 2012, but only accounted for about 3% of what we recycled. We recycle only 9% of total plastic waste. Plastic is a big part of our lives. We use plastic every day. We use it to eat with, we use it to eat on, we use it to carry groceries. We use it for numerous things every single day. My goal of this speech is to urge you to reduce and reuse your plastic use instead of simply throwing away plastic and even recycling. So why would we not want to recycle plastic? Well, one reason is because plastic is actually hard to recycle. There are seven different types of plastics, and according to an article by Lindsay Miller, they state, plastics are increasingly a preferred material of choice in designing and developing complex consumer products because they are moldable, lightweight, and they are often perceived to be highly recyclable materials. However, actually recycling the heterogeneous plastics used in such durable items is challenging. In another article called Is Recycling Worth It? They state, missorted plastics can contaminate the recycling stream and cause damage to recycling equipment. Since there are so many different types of plastics, they can't all be recycled in the same way. And because of this, if one gets into another recycling company's plant, it can damage the equipment, and it can also cause the plastics that were being recycled to be damaged, and they would have to be thrown away. So the process of recycling is very expensive, it is a very intensive process, and it is also very meticulous. Another reason that we would like to find an alternative to throwing away trash and recycling is because plastics get broken down into little pieces and pollute the earth. In an article by Joanna Pankavage, they state, plastic never goes away. It breaks down into pieces too small to be seen by the naked eye. These particles find their way into our oceans, our food supply, and our bodies. Another reason that we would like to find an alternative is because plastics are not as biodegradable as we think. According to the article, What Should We Do with Plastic Waste? They state, most plastics do not degrade in the environment. An article by Neti Rastaji agrees with this and states, plastics are essentially non-degradable. Their volume will not shrink, and plastics may eventually consume a disproportionate amount of landfill space. So, what can we do as an alternative to recycling and throwing away trash? Well, one thing we can do is we can reduce the use of plastic. One way that we can do this is we can use paper products and glass products. Paper products are much more biodegradable, and both paper and glass recycle a lot easier. In an article called An Alternative to the Use of Plastics, they state, recycled papers provide better solutions for environmental problems. Litter naturally decomposes. Plastic bags resist biodegradation, causing significant litter issues. An alternate is recycled papers can be used. So some specific ways that we can reduce the use of plastic is to buy containers of laundry detergent that come in boxes instead of in plastic containers. We can buy glass bottles that are refillable instead of using the plastic disposable water bottles like shown in this picture. We can also use cloth bags instead of using grocery sacks like shown here. We can also use milk cartons and orange juice cartons that are paper or cardboard instead of using ones that are plastic. We can buy chips that come in paper bags. We can also use aluminum and wax paper instead of plastic baggies to store food in. There are numerous ways that we can use other things besides plastic and reduce our use. Another way that we can find an alternative to is we can reuse plastic products. Some ways that we can reuse plastic is by, like shown here, we can use plastic that we already have to help organize our homes and our offices. We can also wash out Ziploc baggies and reuse them. We can simply just wash them with soap and water. We can also use containers that we already have to store leftovers in. And there are many other ways to reuse plastics. These are just a few examples. So, what would happen if we didn't have any alternatives and we didn't reduce and reuse? Well, one thing would be our landfills would continue to grow. When landfills continue to grow, it doesn't make our earth beautiful and it doesn't make our earth happy. It continues to grow and expand and takes up parts of the earth that could be used for other things. It also pollutes our earth. Some of the ways that plastic is recycled is through incineration or burning. And this emits chemicals into the air that are hard for us to breathe and they're bad for us. Another thing is that plastics seep into the ground and our waterways and pollute our water system, and so it makes it dangerous for us to drink water, and it's dangerous for other living organisms as well. So let's take action. Let's prevent plastics from being a problem. Plastics are a major part of our lives. They'll probably never go away. We use them just about every day. However, we can take action and we can take charge and we can reduce the use of plastics and the problem that it can become. So I challenge you today to be creative and see what you can do to reduce and reuse plastic products. Are there any questions? All right. And in the audience today, we have my brother Jarrett and my mom Laurie. Thank you.